This is going to be your weekly chakra energy check-in. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. I mean, the deck isn't even waiting here. I just had to look at this card because it says Dream Weaver. How many of you have had the most intense dreams the last few days? I just have to ask and interrupt my introduction here for a moment because it says here that we're dreaming and imagining. It's bringing us powerful visions into reality. Wow, I'm going to throw this back into the deck, but I was really basically wanting to say to you, how do you feel after this full moon, partial lunar eclipse in Pisces? You know, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, therefore we have this dreaminess. I know that my dreams have been off the charts lately, and I'm curious to know if some of you are feeling the same thing. I've noticed that my dreams were kind of blocked for a period of time. And I'm a very vivid dreamer. I have been my entire life. But in the months leading up to this eclipse, I felt like I just couldn't get a clear message as to what was coming through. And many at the full moon Zoom that we had on Monday night talked about this same thing, you know, not knowing the answer of what was in the dream. And maybe we don't need to know, but it almost feels like there was a bit of a blockage there. And lately I've noticed my dreams starting to become more clear. So I don't know if any of you are in that same boat, but there's definitely been this intensity that's been building. And now I'm finding I'm getting more clarity. And I think that's what happens with eclipse energy. Now, the sleep situation for most people right now has been a little bit difficult, waking up in the middle of the night, a little bit of anxiety. Even I've read and heard some people saying panic attacks, you know, in the middle of the night. So I'm, again, curious to know how you're feeling. But let's get right into it. Since we already had one card out, let's go for another of this deck. And we have Carried Away. Let yourself be caught up in the whirlwind of a romantic moment. Interesting. These are not necessarily lovey cards, but it is saying unlock your heart. So maybe that's a message for somebody to make a move. Unlock your heart. I'm liking that. All right, let's take these big, ginormous chakra cards and see what else we need to know here. And we have the Azure card. Isn't that interesting? This came out the other night at the full moon Zoom. Okay, protect yourself, protect your energy. Now look at the consistency in these two images. The blue. Wow. I'm reminded of like blue moon, which in the oracle cards equates to a rare opportunity or making a wish. You know, protecting yourself doesn't mean you have to have walls. It just means boundaries, okay? This is the big thing right now. What are your limits? Let's see. What else do we need to know? Shake, release, heal, and move on. This is one of my favorite cards actually in this deck. So yeah, we've got to release, we've got to heal, and we got to move on, okay? So let's take a look at what's going on in our chakras. We're going to take a card for each chakra in the body. We're going to be using the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, which has all the different colors of the chakras. So that's great, gives us extra messages. And then we'll clarify with some oracle cards. So let's take a look at our root chakra here, which is our foundation. This is our Mars energy. And we have death and rebirth. Yep, brand new foundation. It's coming. You can feel it. All right, let's get an oracle card to clarify. And there's the Falcon. Okay, rising above, we're transitioning. Major changes happening. Third eye, you've got to trust your intuition right now. Super important. Okay, what else do we need to know? The Cabin. We talked about this energy recently. You know, the Cabin can be feeling lonely, confined even. I would say this, the spiritual journey can be a lonely one, but you're not alone. We're all here in this together. I would just say that this is time for you to take yourself out of isolation, to rise above it, and allow the transformation, transition, whatever you want to call it, to take place. Okay? Because we want to shake it all up. We want to release it. We want to heal it. And we want to move on. Isn't it time? I mean, how many of you feel like you're just in that mindset that says, I just want different. I just want to move on. Let's see what's going on in the sacral chakra, which is Venus. Okay, the Devil. You know, it's interesting because the orange on this card is the sacral chakra, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. So here's the difficulty that I'm noticing. And that is, we want the change. We want the rebirth. We want all that new stuff, even though it scares us. But there's these restrictions on us. A lot of people don't feel good enough for what's to come, you know? And it's a subconscious thing. It's not like somebody sits there and goes, well, I don't feel good enough for this. It's more like, can I have this? Can I really have this? What about this? What about that? What are they going to say? What are they going to do? How are they going to treat me? How will I feel? What if I'm forgotten? I mean, that's one of the main lines I've been hearing a lot lately this week is, I don't want to be forgotten. And I think that happens a lot in love connections where we're worried that if we put ourselves first or make a boundary, that somebody will forget and everything meant nothing. And I'm here to tell you that that's simply not true. It all comes down to capacity. So let's see what else is going on here. The book, see, it's nostalgia. Nostalgia is what is holding people back. Unlock your heart. That's the key here, right? Okay. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm being such a Virgo here to line up my cards. Let's see what's going on here with the other deck. Well, it says within 3 to 6 months. I mean, maybe you're nostalgic for summer. Maybe you don't want summer to end. You know, we're right on that cusp in this part of the world anyways, where summer is coming to a close. You know, we're not at the fall equinox yet, but it's coming. And the next 3 to 6 months are very integral. I mean, look, 3 months from now, my goodness, we're going to be at the end of 2024. And then 3 months after that, we're going to be at the beginning stages of 2025. And it seems crazy right now to think of how quickly the year has gone. Let's take a look at the solar plexus. This is our personal power. And we have here the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, it's tough, man. This is, you know, not making a decision. It's like feeling like we're sort of paralyzed. And I think that's how I would kind of describe it at the moment. I used this analogy today. I think what happens when we're trying to protect ourselves, interestingly enough, as I'm looking at this card that says protect yourself, I think sometimes what we kind of do is we freeze the situation. You know, we think that we're protecting ourselves and we kind of box ourselves in, you know, thinking, well, I'm going to make those boundaries, but that's not boundaries. Boundaries is a line. You know, you allow yourself to have growth, but you don't let people cross the line. If you put a wall around you, you know, or a box around you, there is no movement. And sometimes we do that thinking that we're doing the right thing, but in theory, what we're doing is we're kind of freezing or paralyzing the situation, and then we're thawing it out later eventually anyways. So it's a matter of, when do you want to address it? Do you want to address it now? Do you want to address it later? You know, if you avoid something, eventually it's just going to come to light. So it's almost like not making a decision is making a decision. The other thing about the 7 of Cups is that it can be dreams. It can be dreams. It can be illusions. And we talked about dreams at the very beginning. So let's see. Because our personal power is making decisions and making moves and getting the guts to do it, basically. The Star. The Star is healing and blessings, wishes coming true. But the Queen of Air with this, which is the Queen of Swords, is boundaries. I think someone is really struggling with the concept of boundaries. And like I said, I want you to think about it. Are you putting a wall or a box around you, keeping yourself stuck or frozen, paralyzed, whatever word you want to use? Or do you have a line and you're still allowing yourself to grow and change, but you're not going to let anybody cross that line anymore? And with this, we have here the childhood card, which is about innocence, loving life. That's what I want you to do. I want you to live your best life. I want you to make the boundary and enjoy life. Don't let anybody get in the way of your happiness or your peace. So let's take a look at the heart chakra, Princess of Cups. And this is a heart chakra card. This is saying anything is possible. Kind of like that blue moon energy that I was referring to earlier. you know, where you have an opportunity, the early stages of something really nice emotionally. Let's see what else. Well, the High Priestess and the Moon. The Moon, we just had a full moon, partial lunar eclipse. You may be getting a lot of signs and synchronicities, but I want to remind you, they're there to test you. When you're seeing someone's name everywhere, you know, birthday on the license plate all over town, the same vehicle everywhere, you know, a lot of the times it's testing you. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? And with that, we have the Pearl. Interesting. Emotional force and opening up. Experiential wisdom. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. But I want to remind you, you know, we do want to open up. We crave that. We fear it, but we crave it, right? And there's the unlock your heart. So, I mean, the emotional opening up is definitely a theme here today. Let's take a look at the throat chakra and see what we need to know about communication. All systems go. I've been feeling this vibe that something just has to come out. Whatever's got to be said, it's got to be said. You know, I feel like somebody's trying to get more info. You know, they're trying to get their clarity. But I think the clarity comes when the conversation is had. I think you can try to amass all the information, try to get more info. Sometimes it's a matter of just asking, you know, asking that question or person or whatever it is. Ask, because the Chariot is also victory. I love how the light is kind of shining through here right now at this time of the day. Person of fire. I mean, fire is about purpose and passion and moving yourself forward. It's about confidence. It's being a visionary, a catalyst. It's energetic. It's outgoing. This is encouraging you to be outgoing in your communication. You could be a fire sign, dealing with a fire sign, or have those placements, but it's more about purpose, you know? Let's see. Let's take a look at the third eye. What do we need to know about intuition? Okay, somebody's having a difficult time with knowing whether it's anxiety or intuition. And you can't spend your time worrying. You've just got to make a decision and see where it takes you. And with that, we have, see, there's baggage. There's old traumas, triggers, and hurts that are creeping in and basically making you doubt yourself. And you can't do that. You can't allow the doubt to seep through. You've got to basically just go for it and see where it lands. I think there's been an issue with loyalty in the past, and this makes you feel weary about opening your heart, right? We're talking about unlocking your heart here. And unlocking your heart doesn't have to mean romantically. I mean, it can. It can also just be with friends. It can be with family, trusting people, giving second chances, third chances. I mean, ultimately, it depends on the circumstances, right? But it's hard sometimes. I get it. But we do have to release the baggage, the burdens, the shame, the guilt, the regret, all those things that are in the past. All right, let's take a look at the crown chakra. What do we need to know about the downloads? Ah, the Tower. Not surprised. Many people are having Tower moments. Everything you once thought may not be the same anymore. That's what eclipse energy does. And I mean, look, we've got another couple of weeks until the next eclipse, which is a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. And then there's going to be another eclipse coming, I believe, with the full moon in Aries. And I know that that time frame is a little bit more tricky. I think that the new moon solar is more positive, but I would say in the next few weeks, you're going to see some things come to light. You're going to have a shift, and how you handle it is completely up to you. But I would not fight the shift. I would allow things to unfold, see where it takes you. The more you try to resist something, the more it's going to persist. And when you resist, those Tower moments come in, and they come in kind of hard. So we want to try to avoid that by being more open. See, are you open and ready to receive? That's the whole point. You almost have to just receive what comes your way. and then navigate from there. All right, let's get another card here. Too many. I saw that microphone card. I don't know if you saw it. It's communication. Speaking up, news. The book burning. Yep, we're going to burn the narrative. Isn't it interesting that we had, if I'm not mistaken, did we not have the book card earlier on this side? We sure did. That nostalgia, that old stuff. We're going to burn that. And look, it's a Libra card. Maybe October 5th means something to someone. I've been channeling October 10th for the longest while. Again, I'm not sure what it is, but there's something there. Okay, let's take a look at the Power of Surrender cards. And let's see what we need to know. And we have here, surrender your fear of intimacy. You're ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Unlock your heart, open your heart. Wow. Like, you can't even make that up. I think I want to take, pardon me, one of these 4 agreement cards. They've been speaking to me lately. Let's take a 4 agreements card. Aw, take your life and enjoy it. Look at this little kitty cat here. I love it. Okay, it says, you are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You were born with the right to be happy, to love, and to share your love, just to be. Wow, to take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters. Beautiful. I really hope this resonates with you. As always, I appreciate your kindness and support. Please help me out with the algorithm and provide me a like, a comment, a subscribe. It really helps people find my videos. Again, thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.